Why do men cheat? It's one of the most painful questions anyone can ask themselves after betrayal. When someone you trusted breaks that bond, the confusion can feel heavier than the heartbreak. You wonder, was I not enough? What did I do wrong? Or why would he risk everything for someone else? The truth is, cheating isn't always about the person who's been cheated on. Often, it's about unresolved issues and hidden battles happening inside the cheater's own mind. Today, let's break down 12 psychological reasons why men cheat the most. Understanding these reasons won't excuse the behavior. Nothing ever justifies betrayal, but it can help you gain clarity, set boundaries, and protect your peace moving forward. 1. The thrill of novelty. Some men cheat because they crave novelty, that rush of excitement when something feels new and forbidden. Psychologists call this the dopamine chase. It's the same chemical high people feel when gambling or taking risks. The new person makes them feel young, adventurous, and desired, even if their relationship at home is stable and loving. Over time, they confuse this temporary thrill for something meaningful, forgetting that real love is built on consistency, not constant adrenaline. 2. Emotional immaturity. Cheating often stems from emotional immaturity. Some men lack the ability to communicate when they're unhappy or feel unfulfilled. Instead of having hard conversations, they look for comfort somewhere else. They haven't developed the emotional tools to handle boredom, resentment, or conflict, so they escape into infidelity rather than face uncomfortable truths. 3. Ego and validation. For many men, cheating is less about love and more about ego. They want validation, proof they're still attractive, desirable, or wanted. When life gets stressful, work pressure, aging, financial struggles, they use affairs as a way to boost their self-esteem. It's not about you not loving them enough. It's about them not loving themselves enough without external validation. 4. Opportunity and lack of boundaries. Not every affair starts with intention. Sometimes, it begins with opportunity and a lack of clear boundaries. A man might not plan to cheat, but when temptation appears, and he hasn't built self-control or firm moral lines, he crosses them. This is why personal integrity is so important. Character isn't tested when life is easy. It's tested when temptation is right in front of you. 5. Unresolved trauma or childhood wounds. Some men cheat because of deep-rooted psychological wounds. Growing up without healthy examples of love, living in households where affection was conditional, or experiencing neglect can distort how someone views relationships. They may sabotage love subconsciously, believing deep down they don't deserve it. Or they repeat toxic patterns they witnessed in childhood, because that chaos feels familiar. 6. Fear of commitment. Commitment can feel terrifying for some men, not because they don't love their partner, but because they equate commitment with losing freedom. Instead of embracing intimacy, they run from it by creating distance through cheating. They want the security of a relationship and the freedom of being single, without realizing that in trying to have both, they risk losing everything. 7. Midlife crisis and identity struggles. Many affairs happen during midlife, when men question their purpose, aging, and accomplishments. Cheating becomes a misguided attempt to recapture youth, prove they're still desirable, or fill the void of unfulfilled dreams. It's rarely about the other person, it's about them battling an identity crisis they don't know how to face. 8. Emotional neglect and disconnection. While cheating is never justified, emotional neglect in a relationship can be a contributing factor. When men feel unseen, unheard, or emotionally disconnected, some seek intimacy elsewhere rather than confronting the disconnect with their partner. The healthier path would be communication and healing. But many choose secrecy, which only deepens the damage. 9. Addiction to lust or pornography. Some men develop an unhealthy relationship with lust or pornography, which warps their expectations of intimacy. They begin chasing constant stimulation, mistaking physical satisfaction for emotional connection. Over time, real relationships may feel less exciting compared to the fantasy world they've built in their minds, pushing them toward cheating to satisfy cravings rather than needs. 10. Peer influence and toxic masculinity. Peer pressure can play a bigger role than most people realize. If a man surrounds himself with friends who normalize cheating or even glorify it, he may feel less guilty crossing those lines himself. Toxic masculine ideals, such as proving manhood through multiple conquests, reinforce this behavior, making faithfulness seem less important among certain circles. 11. Revenge or retaliation. Some men cheat out of revenge. Maybe they feel neglected, rejected, or even suspect their partner of being unfaithful, so they retaliate instead of addressing their hurt. This form of cheating is fueled by anger, resentment, and an unhealthy desire to even the score, but it only creates deeper wounds for both people involved. 12. Struggle with self-control and impulse issues. Cheating sometimes has less to do with love or even dissatisfaction, and more to do with poor impulse control. Men who struggle to manage their impulses in other areas of life, like spending, anger, or addiction, may also struggle to resist temptation in relationships. Without self-awareness and discipline, they act first and think later, often regretting it when it's too late. In conclusion, so why do men cheat? Often, it's not because their partner isn't enough. It's because they themselves feel like they're not enough. It's about unhealed wounds, immaturity, unmet needs, and misplaced desires. Understanding these psychological reasons doesn't mean you tolerate betrayal, but it can empower you to recognize patterns, set boundaries, and protect your heart. If you've been hurt by infidelity, remember this: their actions don't define your worth. You are still lovable, valuable, and worthy of a faithful, committed love. Healing begins with understanding, and from understanding comes the strength to choose what's best for you moving forward.